Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you could hop on and join me on this beautiful Thursday evening here in Miami. And I stress a beautiful Thursday evening. The weather this week has been just amazing. Um, Nice and cool in the evenings, not too hot or muggy in the afternoon during the day. It's been wonderful. But we're just 48 hours away from kickoff with NC State. A huge game for us. I mean, it can't get any bigger because this game is the season. And as this past Tuesday indicated with the new rankings that came out, we're now number 15 on the official college football playoff poll. So that puts us well within striking distance. And if we can get the job done, handle our business, go 3-0 in these final three games that we're going to be favored in all three of them, I think we'll be in really good shape. And I do not think we'll end up being on the outside looking in. If we take care of business, I honestly believe we are in the playoffs by the time the season is over. ACC championship, I think that's a bit of a stretch. A lot would have to happen, like 50,000 different things would have to happen in our favor. But to make the playoff, really, I mean, just the normal chaos that happens week to week, inevitably, I think that should suffice. You got a couple of big games this weekend. You got Texas playing Georgia. You got Alabama playing Oklahoma. Hopefully, Texas and Oklahoma take the L in both those games, which I'm kind of expecting them to. If that happens, that's two teams right in front of us that will drop off, and they'll drop off pretty far. But we will see. Chaos will inevitably happen just on the matchups alone that are set up over these next 3 weeks. So, I like where we're sitting. That new ranking that came out kind of renewed everybody's hope a little bit. And it puts us within striking distance. So, got to take care of business this Saturday against a 5-4 NC State Wolfpack team. Now, I wanted to go over on this show the numbers, some of the analytics going into this game, and it's pretty simple. NC State does not have a very good defense at all. And the weak point of their defense specifically is their pass defense, the back seven. And really, their defensive line isn't very good at rushing the passer either because they get home at a very low percentage. I think they're ranked pretty low in that as well. But I'm going to focus on 4 specific stats. I'm going to focus on NC State's, this is their defense now, the points per game they allow, the yards per game they allow, opponent points per play, and opponent yards per play. All right, those 4 metrics are what I'm looking at. And something jumped out at me immediately. I'll start with the points per game. NC State, on defense, they allow 33.1 points per game. 33. That's good for 119th in the country. Okay, their defense is not just, it's average, it's okay, it's mediocre. No, it's bad. Their defense is very bad. Opponent yards per game, they give up 454 per game. That's good for 127th. All right. Stat number 3, opponent points per play, 0.467. So basically, half a point per play. That's one of those more advanced metrics that people are going by nowadays. So basically half a point per play. I'll go back to that one in a second. That's good for 112th in the country. And then you got opponent yards per play, 6.4. That's good for 126th. So these are the rankings of the 4 stats I just gave you for NC State's defense. 119th, 127th, 112th, 126th. There are 136 teams in college football, in D1 college football. Yeah, that's bad. That's very bad. I'll go back to one stat specifically. Opponent points per play. 0.46. So almost 0.5, so that's like almost half a point per play. You do some easy math, and let's say a team runs 80 plays, you're putting a 40 burger on them. So if Miami's goal, let's give them an attainable goal. It's a bit of a lofty one because I don't think we have been doing this very much this season. I think we only had we were in the low 60s as far as snaps or upper 50s against Syracuse. So this isn't a stat we excel at, don't get me wrong, but if we can really get on a roll here and we have 75 offensive snaps in this game, it's not a far-fetched idea to say, all right, 75 plays, cut that in half. That's what, 37 points, 38 points. Why not? You get that amount of snaps, you can get 38 points on the board. I don't think we just win. I think we win by a couple of touchdowns at least. How do you do that? Something I've been clamoring for a couple of weeks now. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Tempo. Come out fast, come out swinging, come out throwing haymakers. Come out aggressive, okay? I saw a little bit of a change. This was very un-Mario-like, but in the second half of the last game, I saw many instances. I was watching the play clock a lot. Many instances where we were snapping the ball with 20 seconds left, 22 seconds left, 17 seconds left. Just kind of in that range for a while. A lot of freshmen out there, also very un-Mario-like. Guys I know part of it was because of injury, but still, you threw him out there. And he didn't need to do this necessarily. There was one drive. I think it was the one that ended with the Pringle touchdown on that long run. That he had Gerard Pringle at tailback. He had Malachi Toney at receiver. He had Dalen Upshaw at receiver, and he had Josh Moore at receiver. 3 freshmen on the outside and a freshman at tailback. He had 4 freshmen on the field for the majority of that drive, the way I remember it. So if I can continue seeing Mario and Coach Dawson continue layering on top of what they did against Syracuse, continue building on that, I think that's a recipe for success against this NC State team. So tempo will be huge. The amount of plays that we can cram in will be huge. Getting some points on the board early and putting NC State in a position where they get a little bit desperate. I think this is a game where you got to finally let the chains off of Carson Beck and really trust him to just put an aerial assault on that secondary. With that said, my guest has hopped into the backstage. Surprise, I didn't put it in the description or anything because he's actually at a Panthers game right now, but he was so kind to hop on with me for about 10 or 15 minutes to talk some ball. They're probably in an intermission right now or something, so let's bring him on. What's up, dude?
What's up? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you pretty well. A little background noise, but for the most part, I hear you.
All right, yeah. We just finished the intermission, the first intermission, but I'm here in the club level, so it's a little easier. Oh man, thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate you.
No, thanks for hopping on, man. I know it's even just with the signal alone, I'm sure it's not great in the arena, but you're coming in loud and clear, so it's perfect.
I hear you perfectly, bro.
Awesome, man. So well, first of all, how are the Cats doing right now? I didn't check the score.
It's 1-1. We just started the second. It's 1-1. Washington scored about halfway through the first, and then the Panthers scored about a minute later and tied it up, and that's where we are, 1-1.
Oh, very nice. Doing it all without Kachuk, without Barkov, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, they'll be. But Barkov apparently is already working out without any knee brace. This guy's a savage, bro. He might be playing by February at this rate. It's crazy. These guys.
That's insane.
These guys are different. You know what I mean?
They are really built different. Agreed.
They're different.
Real quick, man. Last regular season home game this Saturday against NC State. I'm sure you'll be there. Unfortunately, I will not be able to go. I have something at night. I have a little Friendsgiving shindig that I have to attend, which is I'm saying I have to attend. I want to attend. It's my friends, but it's like still scheduling these things on a Saturday in the fall should be like an arrestable offense. But whatever.
It's illegal. It's illegal. Like you give the notification before the season starts. If you schedule stuff on Saturday between the end of August and January, I won't be there.
Exactly. I gotta start just telling people that in July. So yeah, man, the season is on the line. I don't think, I don't think I'm going out on any limbs saying that the season is absolutely on the line. This is an absolute must win. NC State definitely has a dangerous offense with CJ Bailey. Hollywood Smothers is coming back. Jaden Scott, their freshman running back, is no slouch either. They kind of have a nice thunder and lightning combo back there. Well coached. They're coming off a bye. But I was talking about their weaknesses too. Their defense is if you look at the numbers, it's caca. It's pretty bad. So I think we got to attack and we got to go aggressive. So give me some of your thoughts on the game this Saturday, and what do you think Miami needs to do?
Bro, it's if I have to listen to these guys lays up a trash can defense again, I'm gonna be sick. SMU's defense sucks. Syracuse defense sucks. Stanford's defense sucks. NC State's defense sucks. I don't want to hear about how they have a good defense. We make them look good. Oh, goal. Florida Panthers scored 2-1.
Nice.
I don't want to hear about they got a good defense, bro. It's ridiculous. We need to attack these people. I'm so sick and tired of listening to they kind of dictated what we did. No, you dictate to them. Like, in what world do we live where we're allowing bad defenses to dictate to us how to run plays? The fact that they refuse to attack downfield drives me crazy. You can still throw the ball deep. It's your job to figure it out, Shannon Dawson. And I know that Mario Cristobal has his finger on the offense, which is part of the problem that they'll never acknowledge publicly, but that's a big problem.
Yep.
The what was that, million cuts to death type thing that we talked about? It's great when your line is pulverizing people. But when people are bringing 8 in the box, they can't block 8 dudes. They can't. And we have been refusing to run on the outside until finally last weekend with Gerard Pringle, who's a burner. He better start on Saturday. I don't want to hear it from anything. He better start. This guy, he provides something that we don't have, a speed demon who can hit the edge and break a big one. So if they dare put 8 in the box, he gets around that edge. It's night. He's scoring a touchdown more than likely. So I don't want to hear about people's defense anymore. I don't want to hear. We got to be aggressive. I'm telling you right now, the committee statement, by the way, did you see the committee chairman has stepped down from the committee in the middle of the season, which is insane. But this guy said, it's really weird. But this guy says, we looked at Miami's they're inconsistent on offense. We have an issue with their offense. They're telling you, Mario, Shannon, score points, be dominant on offense. Last year, they complained about our defense. Now it's the offense. Mind you, they're hypocrites because Texas, Oklahoma, and Alabama all have worse offenses than we do by the numbers, yardage, and points. Hell, Oregon scored 20, 21, and 18 in the last 3 weeks. But they're telling us, this is the blueprint, score points, be dominant, and you're in the playoffs. If we win out, I think we're in the playoffs. I really believe that because everything will fall into place, in my opinion. I think we're going to be like 8, 9, or 10 seed. But you got to be aggressive, man. And that's really what it comes down to. CJ Bailey's a dog, man. But they have been shut down. Notre Dame shut them down. They shut them down. They lost to Virginia Tech 23-21. They have not. They were awesome against Georgia Tech. Offensively. Defensively, Haynes King went for over 500 yards. I mean, we have to recognize what it is. Stop handcuffing Carson Beck. I mean, there are people that hate him. I have no issue with him. I feel like they've handcuffed him all year. Is he perfect? No, nobody is. But, I mean, the fact that we can't even get to 300 yards against these trash cans because you won't throw the ball, or when you and you see the seam pass. Was that the first seam pass we ran all year? Was for touchdown. We ran 2 crossers. JoJo dropped one, and Marion went for 30 yards in the other one. It's like these plays are there and they refuse to run them 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You need a score. We can't be 0-0 with two. And quite frankly, if we punt the first 4 possessions, it will not be 0-0 because we're going to put our defense in a big pickle, no matter how good they are. So, we got to be aggressive, man, offensively. I think that's the key to it. Aggressive. I want to see that game against USF. I want to see them perform like they performed versus USF. That's the only complete game they've played. They've otherwise been consistently inconsistent. I've heard you say that. I've said it. I've heard Steve Kim say that on the Coach JB show with Big Smitty on, and they're consistently inconsistent. And I want to see them be fit, impose their will, man. Please, enough with the swing passes every other play. What did you think when it was 28-3? We get the fumble, and what do they call? Run into the back of the offensive line. Run into the back of the offensive line. And then Carson Beck gets Alex Bauman killed. But,
And almost picked off.
Yeah. But it's like the first play, you go to the end zone. You end their ass. You end them. No, we're going to run the ball into the back of the line with the 5'8". I mean, he might be listed at 5'10", but Pringle's like 5'8", 5'9", and he's maybe 180. And you go him around no, they don't. Their stuff doesn't make sense, bro. And the fact that I know people like it and it's fun, but the fact that we needed to run these trick plays to score, why didn't we do that versus SMU or Louisville when we needed to do it? You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, and I agree. I remember the brief period that I played football as a kid and a little bit as a freshman in high school. It was I remember the coaches, because I played on defense, the coaches would tell us, I learned this as a kid, hey, after a turnover, it's first play of the game, first play of the second half, and after a turnover, the 3 times you got to be prepared. Hey, they might go deep on your ass. Be careful. Watch for it.
Yeah.
That's football 101. We never do it. We didn't do it against Notre Dame. Go ahead.
The only time we did it, Florida State, touchdown.
Yes. Flea flicker. Yep. After the Bryce Fitzgerald pick, it's almost correct. Tell me if you agree with this theory. It's almost like the in-state rivalry games, Florida State, are like Mario's national championship, and the other games are just gravy. That's what it kind of feels like.
That's what it feels like to me too. He takes that like the most important thing in the world, but bro, it's not. ACC championship, I couldn't care less. I want to be in the playoffs. I want to win a national championship. Ask anybody in Ohio State and Columbus right now. Hey, you want to fire Ryan Day today? Oh, he didn't win. Oh, he didn't beat Michigan. Oh, yeah, he won the national championship. Who cares about the Big Ten championship if I can skip that game, get rested, and then go win a national championship and kick everyone's tail?
Right.
Yeah, he takes it way too seriously to me, bro. I agree with you.
I know. Ohio Hurricane, thank you for the dono. Let's go 3-0, go Canes. And the whole thing about him saying state champs to the camera after he beat FSU, even though after a super lackluster fourth quarter, I thought he was going to be angry, but I don't know. It was all very weird. I wasn't pissed, but I was like, man, this game should have been a blowout. But whatever.
Yeah, we didn't talk. We didn't talk after that game, but it's we're 28-3. We are whooping them, and turn it seems like from that quarter on, our team turned off. He turned them off in the fourth, and they've never recovered from that. It was like you're telling your team you don't trust them to finish these dudes, and I have felt that for weeks now. When I've done my videos, I don't know if you've seen them or not, where he doesn't, he has no personal accountability. When they make a mistake, it's us. No, you're the CEO of the corporation. That guy gets fired. You can fire everybody else on your staff, but you're going to get fired at some point if you keep this crap up and you turn them off and you don't trust it. And I think Carson Beck feels like he's not trusted. And, once he did that, it was that game should have been 42-3. We should have, and yet we're sitting there with 30 seconds to go. Oh my God, they better not recover this onside kick, And since then it's been a struggle. And it
It
wasn't
has.
until that point. And it wasn't until even it was Florida. I mean, we scuffled a bit, but if that touchdown's not called back against Florida,
It's
we
game's over.
coast. Yeah, we coast.
Yeah. We coast, and also that game was in the rain. It was raining
Yeah.
pretty heavily. You know, I kind of chalked some of it up to that. Yeah, no, it's, and I like to say, yeah, no, we kind of woke up against Syracuse, but let's be honest, Syracuse is not good.
Yeah, terrible.
I need to see us start fast the way we did against USF.
Yes.
George Blanco, any news on Zero's injury? There's been a little bit of news. Apparently, he's out for Saturday. He's been in a boot. I don't know what the extent of the injury is as far as the rest of the season. I mean, that would suck if we miss it the rest of the year, but I mean, I don't want to hear that. Like, people are going to bring that up as an excuse if we drop one here. You have enough to win the next 3 games with what you have. You got a solid NFL caliber quarterback, good offensive line, huge offensive line. You got a couple of weapons at running back. And I was going to touch on this. Did you know that our defense, as far as points per game allowed, is number 11 in the country?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're almost a top 10 defense.
They're elite. They're elite.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for overtime, they haven't given up more than what,
20 points.
24 points in the game.
Yeah.
You know, no, they're elite. They're top. They're top shelf. And you know, if you give us this defense last year, we win in a national championship with these guys, with Cam
Absolutely.
Ward. You know, and Keontae Scott, I heard about on Tuesday, he would likely be out. And of course, they wait. I'm surprised they didn't wait till Saturday morning to announce it the way they've been. Like, when we have guys show up on, these guys are all out today. Like, they're not on the report all week, and then all of a sudden they're on the report. But yeah, I heard on Tuesday he was likely going to be out, which sucks because, you know, he's important, but he's by no means any reason that we shouldn't kick these guys in the tail. You gotta put CJ Bailey on his tail early and often. Make him feel it, contain him. Ruben Bain has to stay disciplined. I wish they'd move Ruben Bain around a little bit, not just throw him on the edge, throw him on the inside, make people figure him out. Again, you dictate. I like Corey Heatherman and what he's done, but I think that's one guy. If you remember against SMU, they moved him to the inside once late in the game. I think it was in the last drive, and he drew a holding penalty because he went right by the center like it was nothing there. Move them around a little bit, make them react to you. Stop reacting to them. And I think we just do a lot of reacting as a team to what other teams do, whereas force them to make these plays. Like, 'cause you put CJ Bailey on his butt, bro, that they have a good running game and all that stuff, and they have a good running back, but again, they scored 7 points against Notre Dame. People forgot.
Yeah. And another thing, Mario, it almost seems like he has this habit, and I think this is why he does well against good opponents, but then he stumbles late in the season against crappy opponents he should be killing, because he this kind of approach of like feeling a team out early and it being kind of tight, neck and neck. Yeah, if you're playing a top 5, top 10 opponent and you could slow the game down, lessen their possessions, yeah, that's a good way to approach it. That's how we beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But against a team you have like twice the talent that they have. You can't approach the game that way, because then you're letting them in the game. If you approach it like, no, we're better, let's go up 17-0 at the end of the first. Like, I don't know why he's never had that mentality, and I fear it's ultimately going to hold us back. But I was looking at this stat before you hopped on. NC State's opponent points per play that their defense allows is 0.46 per play. So basically half a point per play. That's 1/12 in America.
That means if you get 80 plays, you're scoring 40 points.
Exactly. That was my point. So let's lower the goal a bit. Let's make it attainable. Let's 70 plays. What's half of 70? 35 points?
35.
75. We really get on a roll. 75 plays, which is not like anything crazy. No. 75 plays is like what a decent offense, that's their goal in a game. 70-something plays a game. Bro, that's a 38-20, 38-17 victory, I think.
Absolutely. No, I don't think anyone's going to score more than the 24 that Louisville scored on us. I mean, SMU, I don't even count that because that was overtime, and and all that. And I mean, they had 17 points with 45 seconds left. But I still blame Mario for that penalty on Lightfoot. I mean, it's on both of them, but what the hell are you calling timeout for? Like, that still made no sense to me. It's like the Georgia Tech decision to not kneel. What are you doing? Yeah, then we blame the referee and say, oh, Don Cheney was down, but should never have not kneeled the ball down. It's like, what were you doing? And it's like, what are you calling timeout? The team is scrambling 4th and 8, 4th and 9. They have no timeouts, and you literally stop play for them. Then, if you wanted to see what they were going to do, why didn't you just call timeout to begin with? Who cares? You had a bunch of them. He always has plenty of timeouts, and then he's afraid to even try to win the game. Like that drives me crazy, and he has an excuse for that too. But I'm conditioned to it. I know. Yeah, you're right. NC State has like the second worst pass defense in America.
And watch us go run heavy early.
Exactly. It's like you're playing one of the worst pass defenses in the country, and you're going to run the ball. No, you need to chuck that ball down the field. It could be between the 15 to 25 yard ones. They can go. If they want to drop everybody back, then put them in the 15 to 25 yard range, and he'll complete every one of those passes. They'll be wide open, and they have been. But yeah, it's frustrating. I know you're frustrated like I am, because it shouldn't be this hard.
Nope.
It shouldn't be this hard. And I'm not the one that walks around saying we should just win a national championship, right? I'm not that dude. But at the same time, it's like we should be winning the ACC against these bums.
Yes.
That's where I get upset. Because I watched that Virginia game with Wake. Scored 9 points.
That's another thing that pisses me off, because we'll lose to these teams, but then they'll struggle this is not just this year. This is the past 20 years. We'll lose a random game to a 5-4 North Carolina or a 4-6 Duke, and the very next week they're struggling against a crappy team.
Yeah.
We've been losing, we've been stumbling in these random games to bums, like you say. And Mario will come on and say what a great team they are. And I understand that's coach speak, but I think it's the wrong message. I think the right message is, hey, we didn't do what we needed to do to play our game or establish what we wanted to do. Whatever coach speak you want to use, you got to start taking some accountability and say, hey, we should have put it on these guys, and we know we're good enough to do so, and we didn't. That's on us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I agree with you, man. And that's whenever he says about the great team thing, and I'm not saying that Louisville's a bad team. They're actually a pretty good team. And I'm not saying SMU's a bad team. They're a pretty good team.
They're decent,
they're not on our talent level. And that's where I'm talking about when I say bums. They're not on our talent level. I've been watching too many years where we got these. I heard him say that they have just as much talent as we do in his weekly show. And I'm like, you're crazy. You can't honestly sit here and try to tell me that SMU has as much talent as we do. Are you kidding? Come on, bro. I don't want to hear that crap. But yeah, man. I think we're gonna win. I'm looking at something like 42-21 around there. I mean, I think we're gonna score. I think we have to be spectacular. We have to make a statement. And maybe I'm being optimistic, and I'm not typically that guy. But the game that petrifies me is the Pittsburgh game, more than any game. That is the game that if we were 9-2 and lost at Pittsburgh, I would be mortified and heartbroken. But it's the one that scares me.
That would be a heartbreaking way to lose, and they are a tough team with a really good quarterback, and it's on the road. Now, and the data tells me, I did the data for the last 20 years, and it's man, we are good for 2 November losses every year. That's the average. It does not matter. Head coach, school president, AD, we've had different ones at those positions. It still happens all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to stay positive here and think, hey, look, even if we don't make the playoff, finish 3-0, finish 10-2, second regular season in a row, 10-2. Hey, Mario deserves his flowers in that regard, and I think it's a good stepping stone. But I think I agree. I think we do win. If you asked me on Monday, I would have said, no, this has upset written all over it. But I'm like, no, I think we got it. I think we're going to push the ball down the field a little bit. I think we're going to push tempo a bit. I hope. If we do, we win. And I hope we get to the position where we're in that pit game 9-2. I hope that scenario that you're talking about, I just hope we get there. I'll be very grateful if we're even in that scenario, because I think the team will come to play because they know the playoffs are on the line that week.
And I want Pitt to be 9-2. I want Pitt
Absolutely.
9-2. Absolutely want Pitt 9-2. So I gotta run, bro. Man, I gotta get back to the game,
Right.
but I appreciate you,
All right,
bro. Thanks for having me on. Hey, anybody, check us out at Come On Now the podcast on YouTube and Hurricanes Unfiltered. Type it into Google, you'll find us, man. I appreciate you, John, as always, brother.
Appreciate it. All right, man. Enjoy the game.
All right, take it easy. Bye.
Right. All right, that was Rudy from Hurricanes Unfiltered from the Come On Now podcast. Like you said, go type that in the Google search. Yeah, so you heard it, man. He voiced a lot of the frustrations that I share with him as well. Yeah, just assert your dominance in this game. Yeah, I understand they got some talent, they got some weapons. I hate when Mario comes on and says, "Oh, they're just as good as we are. They have just as many athletes as we are," and all that BS. No, they have weapons. They have guys that can hurt you, yes, but we have a lot more guys that can hurt them. And we better freaking use it. Anyways, guys, I'm going to hop off, but thank you for the donos. Thank you for the comments. I know I couldn't get to all of them. I just popped a few on the screen because we were like kind of in the conversation. But after I log off, please, drop it in the comment what your predictions are. I always like reading those. My prediction, I forgot where I said it. I think it was on Tuesday. With Jazz. I have this one as like a 31-28 type of victory, but not as close as it looks. One of those that this kind of score a garbage touchdown late, and then maybe we were like recover an onside kick to ice the game, that kind of thing. I agree, John. We have more dogs than they do. Yeah, for sure. Like you look back at some of these losses over the years, and you're like, oh, well, they had, Josh Downs, he's an NFL guy, or they had, those years with North Carolina, they had, God, I'm forgetting their names right now. Or, NC State had Russell Wilson that one year, or, this team had that guy. Yeah, you're talking one or two guys here and there that beat us. It's like when North Carolina had Giovanni Bernard, that's a good example. He would always kill us. Certain ACC teams over the years had like certain guys that would kill us, but our team would still be way better on paper, and we still just would fail to get it done. But we would just lean on that as an excuse. Well, they had this guy. He ended up in the NFL. Oh, they had an NFL player. Oh, we should just lay down then. No. We got more dogs than they do. Oh, you're 100% right, Jorge. Or George. I don't know if you go by George or Jorge. But yes, this is where we have to assert our dominance. And I hope it gets to a position where we take an early 2 to 3 touchdown lead. And then that size we have up front can really start taking over, and we could really start going downhill on them. Because then we could really start playing some Mario ball from a position of strength when you have a big lead. Anyways, last comment, John, did you see that Sellers is sitting out the rest of the year at South Carolina? I did not know that. If that's true, I'm not too shocked. He's likely hitting the portal, as we know. We'll make a lot of money in the portal. And yeah, South Carolina's not having a very good year. So that's the downside of this this current landscape of college football, that if your season's kind of gone down the tubes, you're not really playing for anything those final 2-3 games of the year, and there's money on the table for you, whether it's through NIL and the portal or whether it's through the draft the next year. Why risk it? Why risk, your health going out there? That's why these guys don't play bowl games anymore. That's why bowl games suck now. Even I remember bowl week growing up, all the way up until the late 2010s. Bowl, and they call it bowl week, really is bowl month. It's all like almost the entire month of December. That was awesome. There was a game every week. I'd take some time off work, or I'd be home Christmas vacation, home from school. There was a game every week. And, you know, we'd be in one of those games, and it was fun. I used to love bowl season, but now the way things are, yeah, guys kind of, when there's nothing to play for, guys kind of check out. But it is what it is. The trade-off is, hey, guys get paid legally now, which I am in favor of. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. Go Canes. Let's get this dub on Saturday.